Rami Malek career. 2004-09, early work. After his college graduation, Malek wanted to attend grad school for theater but, with college debt growing, moved to New York instead, and shared a one-bedroom apartment with friends who were also in the theater business. His network of friends included writers and directors. Together they performed their own plays around the city. While visiting his family in Los Angeles, he met casting director Molly Finn, who convinced him to stay and look for work in Hollywood. After moving in with his parents, Malek worked delivering pizza and making falafel and shawarma sandwiches at a restaurant in Hollywood to make ends meet. Despite sending his resume to production houses, he found it difficult to get work as an actor, which led to bouts of depression and a loss of confidence. He considered getting a real estate license instead of pursuing an acting career. After a year and a half, he finally received a call from casting director Marchese. She asked to speak to his agent. When he confessed he did not have one, she told him to get one first. Malek suggested they meet anyway, since there was something in his resume that had attracted her attention. She agreed, and the meeting led to him getting his first role in the TV sitcom Gilmore Girls in 2004. That same year he voiced additional characters for the video game Halo 2, for which he was uncredited. In 2005, he received his Screen Actors Guild card for his work in 2 episodes of the Steven Bochco war drama Over There. Later that year, he appeared in an episode of Medium and was cast in the prominent recurring role of Kenny, on the Fox comedy series The War at Home. Kenny's coming-out story earned accolades from GLAAD. In 2006, Malek made his feature film debut as Pharaoh Achman Ra in the comedy Night at the Museum. He reprised this role in the sequels Night at the Museum, Battle of the Smithsonian, 2009, and Night at the Museum, Secret of the Tomb, 2014. In the spring of 2007, he appeared on stage as Jamie in the Vitality Productions theatrical presentation of Keith Boonan's The Credo Canvas at the Elephant Theater in Los Angeles. 2010-15. Malek returned to television in 2010 in a recurring role as the suicide bomber Marcos Alzacar on the 8th season of the Fox series 24. Growing weary of playing characters he called acceptable terrorists, he instructed his agent to reject any role that painted Arabs or Middle Easterners in a bad light. Later that year, he received critical acclaim for his portrayal of Corporal Mariel Snafu Shelton in the Emmy Award-winning HBO World War II miniseries The Pacific. After the intensity of filming The Pacific, he chose to leave Hollywood and lived briefly in Argentina, though he says it was unsuccessful and he has since found better ways of coping. During the filming of The Pacific, Malek met executive producer Tom Hanks. Hanks was impressed with his performance and would later cast him as college student, Steve DiBiase, in the feature film Larry Crowne, released in July 2011. Those opportunities led to Malek securing supporting roles in a series of major films. In August 2010, it was announced that he had been cast as the Egyptian coven vampire, Benjamin, in the Twilight Saga, Breaking Dawn, Part 2. In 2013 he played Nate, a new employee at a group home for youths, in the indie film Short Term 12, opposite Brie Larson. He appeared in 2 Spike Lee films during this period, the 2012 remake of the South Korean film Old Boy, in a part that was trimmed significantly, and later in the crowd-funded picture To Sweet Blood of Jesus. The two men have remained friends. He also had minor roles in Battleship, the Oscar-nominated The Master, and Ain't Them Bodies Saints. He appeared as Josh, one of the main characters, in Until Dawn, a horror game released for the PlayStation 4 on August 25, 2015. He lent his voice and likeness to the character and was fully motion captured for the game. 2015-2018, Mr. Robot, Bohemian Rhapsody and critical success. TV writer Sam Esmail had auditioned over 100 actors to play the lead character of Elliot Alderson, a mentally unstable computer hacker, for a show he was developing. Having failed to cast the part, he considered rewriting the character altogether. After seeing Malek's audition, however, Esmail said, "It opened my eyes to who Elliot really was." The resultant psychological drama, Mr. Robot, premiered on June 24, 2015, on the USA Network, with Malek in the lead role. To accurately portray the character, who suffers from mental and social disorders, he met with a psychiatrist. The role drew immediate praise from critics, with USA Today calling it his breakout performance. Entertainment Weekly called Malik's magnetic performance the best reason to watch the show. Backstage remarked that Malek anchored the drama and that his spin on the anti-hero archetype promises a fresh direction for prestige TV. His performance earned him nominations for the Dorian Award, Satellite Award, Golden Globe Award, and Screen Actors Guild Award. He won the Critics' Choice Television Award for Best Actor in a Drama Series and the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series. He was the first non-white actor to win an Emmy in that category since 1998. The show will conclude with its fourth season in 2019. Buster Small Heart, the first movie in which Malek played a starring role, premiered in September 2016 at the Toronto International Film Festival to positive reviews. In it, Malek plays a man who leads two lives, one is Jonah and another is Buster. Casting him in the role before his success on Mr. Robot, the director, Sarah Dean Smith, said, "I had no idea how huge and adored he would become." Reviewing the actor's performance, John DeFore of The Hollywood Reporter wrote, "Fans of Mr. Robot won't be disappointed in the least by this vehicle for Emmy-winning series star Rami Malek, which both fits in with Mr. Robot's delusion-prone paranoia and lets the charismatic actor stretch out in his first feature lead." Malek next starred as Louis Dacre in Papillon, a remake of the 1973 film, co-starring Charlie Hunnam. It premiered at the 2017 Toronto International Film Festival, and had a limited box office release in August 2018. In 2017, Malek joined the cast of BoJack Horseman, Season 4, voicing the character Flip McVicker, a writer who does not trust email. In 2018, Malek portrayed Freddie Mercury in the Queen biopic, Bohemian Rhapsody. The film premiered in London on October 23, 2018, and became a massive box office success, grossing over $774 million worldwide on a production budget of about $50 million. It became the eighth highest-grossing film of 2018 worldwide, and the highest-grossing musical biographical film of all time. Despite mixed reviews for the film itself, Malek's performance received critical acclaim. He won a Golden Globe for Best Actor, Motion Picture Drama, the Breakthrough Performance Award at the 30th Annual Palm Springs International Film Festival, and nominations for Critics' Choice Award, BAFTA Award, and the Screen Actors Guild Award for Best Actor. To prepare for the role as Mercury, Malek moved to London where he employed a dialect coach and movement coach, and took piano and singing lessons. For 4 hours each day, he studied videos of Mercury with his movement coach. This included watching the 1985 Live Aid concert video on YouTube at least 1,500 times to perfect his performance for the movie. He also had to get used to singing and speaking with a set of false teeth which mimicked the singer's overbite. Brian May, Queen's guitarist, who often attended filming, is quoted as saying that Malek's performance was so accurate that we sometimes forgot he was Rami. Malek considers his performance as Mercury the most important in his career, saying, "This is a role I don't think can be outdone. I think we're always searching for that next great role, and I guess I'm fortunate that I've already been met with it. I'd like to think that there is more out there for me to do, and there is, but I do doubt that there is anything that lives up to how precious this role and this human being have been in my life." During the press tour for Bohemian Rhapsody, Malek said he is working on a movie, one he plans to write, direct, and produce himself on a small budget, since it is a story that he says might get passed on by studios looking for something a bit more broad and commercial. In December 2018, it was announced that Malek would produce and star in an 8-episode podcast called Blackout. Scott Conroy is the writer of the upcoming podcast, a thriller about a small-town radio DJ who must fight to protect his family and community from a coordinated attack that destroys the power grid and upends modern civilization.